Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cabela's, Cuddyback, America's Best Bowstrings, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, Hoyman Tree Saws, Lone Wolf Tree Stands, Nikon, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, RTP Outdoors, Spot Hog Releases, Wasp Archery, Viking Solutions, and Realtree.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Midwest Whitetail, Great Lakes. It's October 11th, and we just had a big cold front move in today. It was about a 30-degree temperature drop from yesterday to today. It's only about a high of 43 today. So we felt we had to be in the tree stand. The deer we're going after tonight is Royals, and he's our number one target this year on this farm. We got a northwest wind, and we're set up in the berm field. We got this nice clover plot, pure trophy clover plot down below me, and about 2 acres of corn and about 1.5 acres of beans over here with another little clover plot. We're set up in this little point that comes out. So it's really kind of a marginal win for sitting in this spot, because anything that kind of is out in the beans here is going to smell me. But what I expect all the deer to be doing is bedding in this big block of timber that's to the north of me and coming to me. I've had pictures of Royals in here in the last few days. The last big cold front that we had, he was out in this field in front of this camera in daylight. So he's definitely a killable deer, and definitely a deer that I'm pretty much obsessed with and ready to wrap my tag around. He's a four-year-old, and definitely a stud. So I think we got a really good chance at killing this deer. Every time I come in, I feel like I got an opportunity at this deer. So we'll cross our fingers and hope he shows himself tonight. It's a little after 5:30 now, and the wind is beginning to die down just a little bit so that it's becoming a little more consistent. The deer activity isn't as high as I thought it would be so far. We've only seen 2 small bucks so far, and for whatever reason I did hear a doe blowing, I don't know, a couple 100 yards away back in the woods, but I don't think it was from us. So hopefully this last hour produces something good. So let's cross our fingers that something steps into this clover plot or these beans over here. Elliot and I just got set up in the berm field for I was in here last night, so we're back in again tonight after Royals. I had all intentions of staying out of here tonight, but we have a wireless camera that sends pictures to our phone down here, and at 4 o'clock this morning Royals was out here, and I kind of assumed that he was kind of heading back to bed because he was headed back towards the timber, so I figured I'd give it one more shot tonight before we head up north for the weekend. So right after this hunt tonight, if we don't kill him, we're heading up to our Buffalo County farm. So it's about 43 degrees, about the same conditions we had last night, just a little less windy. Still a west to northwest wind, but I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty good night. And I'm expecting Royals, if he did just go back in bed in the timber back here, to be out here as his first stop of the night. So we got our fingers crossed that it's going to be a good night, and hope it is, because we got a long drive ahead of us, and hope it was worth the stay. So stick with us. We'll show you whatever comes out tonight. I know. Yeah, a year and a half old. Alright, well, it's a little before 5:30, and we got a little over an hour left. But those two bucks that came out, one looked like about maybe a year and a half old, maybe a 2-year-old 8-pointer, which showed a little potential. And the one behind him was a buck that I found the match set to last year. I believe he was a 2-year-old last year. We called him Buddy because he was always hanging out with Royals and was kind of his buddy. So he really didn't grow much from last year. I was a little surprised, but definitely a recognizable deer and a good 3-year-old. Another year or two, he could really turn into a nice deer. So our wind is kind of blowing back towards where they came from, and they caught a little bit of us and they weren't really sure of what it was, and they didn't spook too bad, but they've just moved back off into the timber. It didn't spook, it would blow or anything. So that's good, but we got a little over an hour left, and we'll cross our fingers that Royal steps out on the north side of the plot here. It's been a good night so far, and expect it to just get better, so.
Same spot or what?
Well, we got about 20 minutes left, and we've seen quite a few doe and one more small buck. There's still deer coming out into the field, but we're going to try and get out of here pretty quietly and try not to spook anything. So if nothing steps out, thanks for watching, and we're heading up north after this, so make sure you keep checking in for to Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes for this week's hunt.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes. Today's October 12th. Hunted out here at the river property last night. That front came through yesterday morning and cooled way off, but it was still super windy last night. We didn't have much activity, and asked a few other people, and it was a little slow, so we got about a 7-8 mile an hour west wind tonight. It's about 45 degrees for 12th of October. It's amazing. So I'm up here. I'm on the north edge of our big food plots. Got corn, big and beastie, and beans, and some more big and beastie that I overseeded once the beans were about 8 up. So that came in really awesome too, by the way. But I've got the fence up here around my beans. It's just I took down the battery and it's not activated, and there's a few deer that know they can get in there, but I'm still wanting to keep it up for a bit here. They can kind of go in it. A few of them made their way in there, but might take it down this weekend. We'll see. I know they're gonna pounce on it once it's down. So, but anyway, it's just a little drizzly. Awesome conditions. We'll see what bucks we see tonight. Should be an interesting night. Well, I just had those does come in. I don't know if they've ever seen this food plot and that fence before. They acted pretty leery of it, but it pinched them down to right in front of me here, and about 10 yards away. So if we get a single buck to do that same thing tonight, I'll be real happy. It's only about 6 o'clock, so that's pretty early action here. Probably hunt till about 7:35, so they're super early. Hopefully this is gonna be a great night, starting out good. Bear. Well, it's getting dark here. Been getting a lot of coyote on trail cam here, and one snuck in, and it's getting right down to the end here, so I decided to shoot him. Like to get rid of those predators any chance you get, so that's about a wrap for tonight. Had a great hunt, actually. Seen 9 different deer. Most of them came within range, so excited about this weekend. Looks like it's going to be a fun one, so we'll catch up with you later this weekend and let you know what else is going on. Thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes.
Well, welcome to Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes. Today is October 14th, and we want to give you a quick update as to what we've been up to so far this season. We started off the season by opening up down in opening weekend in Ohio, and we saw quite a few deer. We saw one nice buck that we would have probably shot had he come in. Unfortunately, he didn't make his way into our setup. And then we came back home to Michigan for opening day, saw some does, and we were seeing some deer quite frequently here in Michigan. And on October 5th, we did see a couple of 1.5-year-old bucks on our food plot property feeding through some acorns and some natural browse. And then we went back down to Ohio on the 11th of October, right after the cold front came through, and we saw, I think it was 8 or 9 deer, including 1 buck chasing some does around. So we came back up to Michigan from Ohio, and we hunted our food plot on Friday night, this past Friday night, and we were able to see a doe and a fawn. They didn't give us a shot, but we were able to see some deer eating our food plot. And then we decided to come up here to northern Michigan to some property that my grandparents own and hunt some public land that sits in this river behind me. It's been pretty uneventful so far this weekend. So this afternoon we went out and did a little grouse hunting, and we were fortunate enough to find a little shed. So hopefully that brings us some luck for tonight, and we see some deer feeding into these acorns that we're going to be set up tonight. But that's what we've been up to so far this year, and we hope to continue the good luck we've been having. We've been seeing a lot of deer, just no shot opportunities. So hopefully the deer movement keeps up and we get a shot opportunity before too long. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes.